Fourth time trying to film this. Let's give it a shot. Hello, welcome to today's video. We'll be talking about not partying and drinking in your 20s and my personal experience with this. So right off the bat, I'm just gonna say, I hate how binge drinking in your 20s is so socialized and has become a norm. And I feel like if you don't party or partake in these activities, it feels like you're missing out. And I'm here to say, you're not missing out, you're not crazy. You're doing the responsible thing by figuring out what you want to do with your life and developing your personality and interests further. I'm just gonna go out and say it, binge drinking is not cool. I know how it's very promoted in college and in your early 20s, you're supposed to get obliterated on the weekends. I honestly never saw the point of getting obliterated on the weekends and waking up hungover and full of regret the next day. I'm not saying not to go out and hang out with your friends. I'm just saying, make sure you're going out to create genuine moments with your friends and to share joy and to create memories you'll remember for the rest of your life versus going out lonely and sad just to forget the problems of your life. I feel like a lot of it stems from a deeper underlying issue of why people go out every single weekend just to get fucked up. I think it comes from stresses of everyday lives and dissatisfaction with their own lives. Maybe it's an escape from reality and a coping mechanism to deal with the stresses of everyday life. I think that's very true. Every mentor or older person that I've personally talked to, if they had one regret, that was going out pointlessly to the bars every weekend, chasing women just to get messed up. So I'm making this video to let you know it's okay if you don't party in your 20s. It feels like you're missing out, but you're truly not. You're kind of just doing your own thing. And I've personally been there. I've been in the party scene and you're not really missing out. I feel like a lot of people go out in their 20s just to postpone adulthood and forget that they're an adult and out of college, and to try to fit in and avoid the loneliness they feel on the inside. If you're genuinely happy going out to the bars every single weekend getting fucked up, props to you. That's personally not me. I couldn't deal with the anxiety and the way I felt of just getting drunk every weekend. And that's maybe a personal thing on me. But if you enjoy going out with your friends every single weekend, getting drunk, cheers to you. Just do it in moderation. I've heard this excuse of like, I want to live life now and not do it when I'm old and bitter and crippled. But I need to tell you that your life doesn't end after your 20s. It starts. It's a common misconception, I feel like, with young adults. Yes, you may have more responsibilities, but your life is truly your own and you can design it the way you want it to be. One thing I asked myself when I was going out is, am I running away from my problems or am I truly going out to share joy with others? I feel like most people in their 20s are going through this rough transitional period, so they go out to fit in and to forget their problems and to just escape life. And I don't think that's a very effective coping mechanism. I feel like there are healthier alternatives. Here's a harsh fact, is college is over. It's done, you'll never go back, and it's time to start transitioning to adulthood. And yes, while fun may look different, maybe you're not around your friends all the time, you'll find more meaning in other hobbies and relationships you have with others. Start developing your hobbies and yourself outside of drinking. So here's my personal experience with it. I'm not gonna lie, I used to love to party. I love to get wrecked on the weekends and to forget the problems of my own life. And I guess that's one thing why I did it, right? I was always stressed and depressed and wasn't happy with where I was. So I just wanted to go out and wanted to relate with others. Cause like, that's what the popular kids do, right? The popular kids, they go out and they drink and they have a fun time. And I didn't want to feel like I was getting left out. So I started to drink a lot and I started to realize my health was deteriorating. My mental health was deteriorating. I was losing a lot of money because drinking is very expensive. And I realized I was just wasting a lot of time. I wasn't going out to celebrate and to have a good time or going out to meet other people. I think I was just going out to cope and to fit in and to not look for solutions to my own problems. So I think one thing that helped me was I'm actually allergic to alcohol, as strange as that sounds. My allergy got way worse during the later stages of my college career. I started to realize I started to itch. My skin would get like red, my heart would beat. I'd have a difficulty controlling my body temperature. I guess with these physical ailments, I kind of stopped drinking because it was literally a toxin to me and I was almost dying from alcohol because I was allergic to it. So I think a mixture of that and a deep yearning for intellectual conversation and depth. I wanted to meet individuals and not necessarily people. I wanted to meet people who stepped outside of the crowd and developed their own personalities. And I guess I started to ask this question of, who am I outside of drinking? Partying is a personality. It's a personality trait. And I don't think that should be advocated or is a great personality trait to be known by as a partier. I think Partying is something you do occasionally, but it shouldn't be a hobby that you routinely do. I might get some hate for that, but I truly believe it. I feel like it leads to a lot of loneliness because there's a lot of people who don't want to go out and drink and they want to have intellectual conversations, but because of their age and what's being promoted in your early 20s, they feel left out, which puts people in a very hard position. They don't want to put themselves at risk of drinking and the dangers of it. I'm here to say it's completely okay. There's a lot of people that don't drink in your 20s. And if you don't drink in your 20s, I have so much respect for you because I know how lonely it can feel and how left out you can feel it sometimes. But you start developing hobbies and meaningful connections and relationships outside of it. I think that pays off in the long term. So don't worry about that. You're not crazy. You're doing everything right. So I guess another thing was I started asking, it's like, what would I actually want to be doing if I wasn't drinking? All these questions started to make me realize I need to stop drinking and start doing something with my own life and actually start to improve it. And I started asking myself every time I did go out, am I here out of sheer joy or am I here to forget about my problems? And if it was the latter, I would just stop drinking and the next weekend I'd stay in and start working on my own life. I know, the party scene is so fun and exciting, but a lot of people get lost in the sauce and I've seen it negatively affect people's lives. I started to realize some of my friends started to develop drinking problems, addiction problems. They experienced depression and a lot of myriad of health issues as well as mental health issues. And I guess this leads to a lot of heartbreak and regretful one-night stands from my personal experience. I knew I had to stop drinking despite what everyone was telling me, and I started to realize I was losing some of my friends. But I started to realize genuine friends won't bring you down and will support your decision to stop drinking. You can celebrate without alcohol with your friends. You can go out and get food and you'll find out who your real friends are. And I'm so grateful that I stopped drinking. It goes down to this idea of everything in moderation, right? Balance. Maybe have 1 or 2 drinks occasionally with your friends and just to relax and unwind, but don't go above that every single day, every weekend. Don't get lost in the sauce. Yes, I'm here to tell you life kind of slows down when you stop drinking and partying. It's obviously not as exciting. But the thing is, life slows down to your own pace. Yes, life slows down to your own pace. And you can take it at your own speed and start to do things on your own. Go out and explore, meet other people outside of the party scene, and don't just get lost. And maybe you'll experience FOMO, the fear of missing out. I'm here to tell you you're not missing out on anything. If anything, you're missing out on the hangover and the financial worries. And if you truly feel like you're missing out sometimes, go out for a single night, and if you have a fun time, hell yeah. But if you don't, you start to realize, wow, I'm doing the right thing for myself. I'm not missing out on jack shit. So just be grateful and have a good time. Take care of your health, and you're not crazy. The culture that we live in is so weird right now. I decided to make this video because I feel like there's a lot of people out there in their early 20s who don't drink and they don't like going to clubs or bars. And that's totally okay. Yes, it does severely limit, I guess, your interactions with other young people. But the people you do meet outside of drinking through hobbies, through your church, through clubs, through sports, farmers markets, or coffee shops, those are individuals who stepped away from the crowd. And of course, you have the capability to have fun, but you do it in your own way, and I think that's the most exciting part. You're having fun on your own terms and not what society thinks that you should be doing. So I hope today's video is helpful, and subscribe and like the video for more. Namaste.